And it is noon on Friday, and that means it is time for our Lunch and Learn. And today we're going to be talking about something I've never heard of before, and it is called gemmotherapy. Now, when I saw this, I thought it was talking about gems, like crystals or something like that. But no, not even a little bit. It's talking about going out into the forest and foraging the buds, you know how a rose makes a bud before it bursts into a flower, right? Well, all of your trees and shrubs do the same thing. And so gemmotherapy goes out into the forest and picks off the buds, puts the buds in a liquid medium, and I'm going to give you the recipe and all that, and they make medicinal liquids from that. And they are so cool. And they are so healthy and so gentle that you could use them on children, you can use them on the elderly. And I'm really, really excited to bring this to you because those of you who make your own concoctions, this is something that you might be interested in. It might be new for you. It was new for me. I had never heard of it before. However, in Europe, in France alone, in 2021, they used this therapy and they sold, okay, get this, 3.7 million in sales in France. All right, that's a lot of dollars. It's $3.7 US, 3.4 million euros. I said that backwards, so I apologize that. So this gemmotherapy is growing in population in France, of course, Germany, Switzerland, and Romania. So the rest of us have to catch up. And I'm sure we're not doing very well here in the United States because we seem to be the last one on board. So gemmotherapy is derived from the Latin word gemme, G-E-M-M-A-E, which means buds. It is a natural immune booster, according to a 2023 report in the journal Antioxidants, which notes that it is antifungal, anti-microbial, anti-inflammatory, and it has antioxidant agents. So what does that mean? It comes against funguses, it comes against viruses, it comes against bacteria, and it's anti-inflammatory. So this is really, really good when you can make this, and it's not very expensive to make, and it takes only 3 weeks. It only takes 3 weeks to make it, so you've got plenty of time to prepare. Now, obviously, this is when the trees are budding. We are just entering into our fall season here in the United States, so that you would go out and get these buds in the springtime. So I thought about sitting on this report and waiting until it got to be around springtime before I delivered it. However, you may have missed your opportunity if I delivered it too late, and now you can take notes, and when the trees and the shrubs start to bud, you can go out and do what you need to do, and you're going to be ahead of the pack. So it's also, these concoctions are hepatoprotective. That means it protects your liver, okay? Also neuroprotective, which means it protects your brain function, okay? So this is really, really important. Also helps with focus. So gemmo products can also aid in skin health and may have anti-aging effects, and they are soothing to the skin. It all depends on which tree or shrub buds are used to make your specific tonic. So how does this work? Gemmotherapy preparations contain active plant metabolites, which are compounds involved in the growth and development of the plant, as well as their survival specific to the plant's environment. The high amounts of proteins and amino acids in the growing tips of the plants turn the macerations, and that's what they call I call it a concoction, but they call it macerations, and I'm going to tell you why, into a source of phytochemical, which also are the medicinal agents that promote health in various ways. Now, this is really, really important because if you've seen what we do here at all, we're all about anti-aging. We're all about making sure that you've got your phytonutrients. We're all about making sure that you've got your antioxidants. And this is a very inexpensive way. It takes some legwork, literally, but you can make your own. And like I said, they call it macerations, not concoctions, that can help you and your family. So this is a different type of plant medicine compared to what we normally use, because we normally use tinctures that are produced from the plant. This is produced from the plant bud, which gives you a little bit different kind of raw material. So in 2020, the Cambridge Scholars Publishing released a book entitled Gemmotherapy, the Scientific Foundation of a Modern, I'm going to say this word wrong because I didn't have time to practice it, but of a modern meristhymotherapy. Lots of words there. In it, the authors reveal that the therapy's significance lies in the astonishing plant exploits, which are based on special totipotent cells named meristem. And the authors viewed the bud derived are the future generations of the food supplements. People should value them for their capability to continuously produce new identical cells through the miracle of mitosis. So you're going to remember that word from your 4th grade health class when they talked about cell division and multiplication and all that kind of stuff. Bud extracts are seen as a highly efficient nutraceutical to address issues such as heart and cardiovascular disease, memory and cognitive problems, as well as joint, auricular, and neuromuscular pathologies, according to the book's diagrams. In the grand scheme of alternative medicine, the herbal extraction of buds is a relatively recent technique. Now, renowned Belgian doctor Paul Henry developed gemmotherapy in the 1950s. In 1965, they had improved it enough where they could run tests on it, and the French listed this as glycol macerates because they use glycerin and alcohol are used for the extractions. Dr. Henry called the practice phytoembryotherapy, as the buds of the plants contain complete embryonic plant tissue. Now, we all know that an embryo has everything that it needs in order to have a full and successful life. We all know that. As we age, humans, as we age, we get further and further away from our embryonic state, right? And thank God that we do. However, if we can take into our bodies those embryonic cells of the plants and the shrubs, then we're going to give our bodies what it needs in order to fulfill the deficits that we have since we are no longer in our embryonic stage. So gemmotherapy belongs to a newly researched category of plant products. Despite being developed in the 1950s, they only started researching it in 2017. So this is kind of crazy. Why would you wait so long to start researching this when it shows so much promise? So in 2023, there was an animal study on the extract of black currant buds. It was analyzed for its antioxidant, anti-neuroinflammatory, anti-neurodegenerative properties. Within nearly 133 phytonutrients, black currant buds were found to be specifically unique, leading researchers to suggest that they would be a valuable source for alternative therapies. Now, if any of you are dealing with people in your family and your circle that are having neurodegenerative diseases, this would be something that I would definitely write it down. You want to get black currant buds. Where do you get black currant buds? You get them off black currant plants. Now, a currant is a berry, okay? And so you're going to have to go where it grows, and I'm not sure that we have any that grow around the Houston, Texas area. However, if you've got somebody that's dealing with neurodegenerative diseases, this would be something that would be really important for you to have. The common hazelnut displays promising results in the animal studies, and this was published in Biomedicines. The model examined mice suffering from liver fibrosis and diabetes. Treatment with the hazelnut bud was able to significantly restore, not improve, restore liver architecture, enhance liver function, balance the antioxidants, and lower the collagen deposits in the organs. The research team concluded that hazelnut's gemmotherapy extract may have anti-fibrotic effects that could be used in the treatment and prevention of liver fibrosis. And so we all know that our liver is our largest filter. And so especially after the age of 50, right? Because that's who we are. We have to do some detoxing every year in order to keep our liver functioning the way that it needs to. A group of 14 scientists examined the extracts of buds from olive, sweet almond, and black mulberry. They identified 42, 103, and 109 phytonutrients respectively. In the study, the flavonoids accounted for the largest amount of metabolites found in the extracts, which by themselves contain anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, neuroprotective, and cardioprotective antiviral properties. This is amazing because we know, scientifically, we know that the body absorbs the bioflavonoids from the foods that we eat, the dark colored fruits and vegetables. That's why we tell you to eat the rainbow. We're supposed to consume 30 different fruits and vegetables every week. Now, I don't know anybody that does that. I'm going to sneeze. I don't know anybody that does that, but that's what we're supposed to do. Now, excuse me, I'm so sorry. We have the little gadget here in the clinic. Oh, it went away. That shows how much of the antioxidants you are absorbing. This particular client is in the red. We want you to be in the purple. When you're in the purple, not only are you eating enough phytonutrients, but you're actually absorbing them. And so one of the things, because I don't eat 30 different vegetables and fruits in a week, but I take this. What is this? This is LifePak Nanos. So LifePak Nanos gives a mature adult, all right, all of the things that they need in order to supply all of the phytonutrients that we need. Now, the thing that I like about this is the way most vitamins come in really large molecules. This is broken down into very fine molecules so older people can absorb it and digest it. So because I do this, I don't have to worry so much about getting everything in my diet. However, it's a lot more expensive to go that route than it is to go the route that we're talking about. But what I want to tell you is that the same phytonutrients that they're finding in these plants is in this. And listen to what they said. They are anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, neuroprotective, cardioprotective, and also they have antiviral properties. So if there's any time we need all of that, it is today. So in 2021, in a paper published in the Journal of Medicine and Life, it evaluated several phytotherapy techniques found in evidence-based medicine, including gemmotherapy. The team of researchers argued that during pregnancy especially, there is no room for error. To place their trust in herbal medicine, pregnant women and obstetricians need a specific bias for phytopharmacologicals. That's a big word. 5 plant macerations were specifically mentioned for beneficial use during pregnancy. So this might affect you, it might affect your children, your grandchildren. Raspberry. Now we know that raspberry leaf tea, we know that raspberry leaf is really, really good for pregnant women. Also, it's good for you after you deliver because the raspberry shrinks that uterus back to the right size that it needs to be. But the gemmotherapy with the bud of the raspberry plant has a very high phytochemical content. It's one of the most valuable remedies during pregnancy. Viburnum, which is a flowering shrub similar to the raspberry, also can protect against premature birth. Crabapple is a plant, a shrub, that the buds act on the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal gland and the ovarian axis, having progesterone effects. According to research, cited in the Journal of Medicine and Life in 2021. This can be used as a progesterone supplement as well as an effective treatment against heartburn. And we know that many pregnant women have heartburn. Now, we talked last week about progesterone and the importance of progesterone in an older woman who's in menopause. So this would be another maceration that you could make to help with your progesterone supplementation in your body. Blackcurrant, we talked about that a while ago, is a well-studied bud alternative that has anti-allergenic properties and has been found to enhance the immune system and works as an anti-inflammatory agent, especially in the respiratory, urogenital, and digestive systems. Linden and basswood, this extract works via the autonomic nervous system and has a calming effect, especially if there is insomnia or anxiety present. So the buds boost your immune system. Now, we don't like to say boost because boost is what happens when you're sick. The buds strengthen your immune system, okay? The derivatives are immune stimulating because they are high in nutrients such as vitamins, trace elements, and minerals. However, during the pollen and allergy season, a combination of the gamma macerations of birch, that's a tree, which functions as an antihistamine, and blackcurrant, which lowers inflammation, are especially effective home remedies. So that's really, really important. I don't know if birch trees grow around here. I know sycamore trees do. I know pine trees do. That's what we have in the most abundance. I think birch is mainly a northern tree. But anyway, you can probably, this is becoming much more well known now. And so there may be some companies out there that you can buy the buds from. Don't know. I just now I'm finding out about this. So gemmotherapy with blackberry is indicated for the elderly, those suffering from lung disease and bone disorders. In addition, the macerations can help alleviate pain connected to arthritis, chronic bronchitis, and work against shortness of breath. Now, this is not just the elderly. We have a lot of young people coming in with bronchitis. We have a lot of mature adults coming in with arthritis, and they have pain. We have a lot of people that have shortness of breath. And so I know somebody personally that makes their own concoctions, right? So I'm really hoping that if you need somebody on your team that can help you with this, let me know and I can refer you to this person because I trust her. There's not a lot of people that I trust, and this is why I do this, right? Because I know these people, I know the doctors, I know the scientists, I know all that. And so I know what I'm getting. However, if you want to have or make these yourself, if you need somebody to help you, I've got a contact. So just let me know because I trust her. I have known her for about a year, and I know that what she does is a work of art, and she pays really good attention to what she's doing. So if you need that, let me know, and I will hook you up. So the macerations of ash buds, ash is a tree, is helpful for people suffering from painful swollen joints as well as gout. Now, if I had gout, which I do not, but if I did, and I know a lot of men, this mainly affects men, they spend all this money on prescriptions to help them. And we all know that prescriptions are fine in a crisis, but as a lifestyle, it's not really helpful for you. And so if you could make a maceration from the ash buds, it would help with the gout and it would be so much less expensive. Poplar tree, all right, is used for people who suffer from frequent cold feet or rheumatism. For the latter, a poplar salve could aid in an external agent combined with the internal use of the gemmotherapy. So detoxification is also possible through this. Stimulation of the excretory systems furthers the elimination of toxins, which leads to a rekindled sense of vitality, providing a kickstart to healing. Plant remedies of birch, ash, and hazelnut accomplish this goal. Birch could be used for 4-week spring cleaning regimen with 2 to 3 sprays of the tonic directly into the mouth each morning or evening. So this is really exciting news, and you don't want to do all of these together. You want to do one of each And then you can use it, wait 30 to 45 minutes, do another one, wait 30 to 45 minutes, because it goes right into the mucous membrane of your mouth. So it goes right into the bloodstream, but you still want to wait a minute before you do too much so you can get the benefit of each one individually. Macerations of elm and walnut buds can help with skin problems such as acne, psoriasis, eczema, and atopic dermatitis. All right? So walnut is one that should always be used by itself and not be combined with any other remedies. And they want you to wait at least 30 minutes before you add anything else. So what do you want to do? Well, in the springtime, when things are flowering, you want to go out and collect the buds before they make the flowers. All right? Now is a good time to go out in your area, wherever your area is. Mark the trees that you want to forage from in the spring, because of course in the spring there's no leaves and all that kind of stuff. You might get confused of what tree you're looking at. Right now, you can look at the leaves, you can look at the fruit, you can look at all the things that you're looking at, and you can know, oh, this is this and this is that. In the spring, when things are denuded, you might not be able to do that. So now is a good time to go out in your area and mark the trees that you want to forage from so that you're not going to be mistaken when the time comes to make your own macerations. And this is how you do it. You go to the place where the buds are growing. Be aware not to gather buds from plants that are directly located next to busy streets or in an area of high environmental pollution. Now, why is that? Because next to busy streets, you've got all the exhaust from the cars, and that pollutes, gets on the buds, and it pollutes them. And we don't want to have that. We don't want to have that in our bodies and our systems. This is why, and we do have CBD here, and we're really careful what CBD we use because most CBD comes from China, and we know that China's soil is very toxic, and we know that their environment is very toxic. So we don't want to get products from that area of the world. In the same way, wherever you go to collect your buds, you want to collect them in a place that is as toxic free as possible. So that would not be beside a busy highway. As for the correct time, stage of collecting should be when the buds are just before they open. Okay, it's all ready to use if they're still a little green, but make sure the bud is still closed. Different trees and shrubs can also vary in their time of bud ripeness. For example, elms, birches, and hazelnuts are on the early side of the gathering window, whereas basswoods and walnut trees bud later. Depending on the spring weather in your location, gathering time of trees and shrub buds can start as early as January or as late as March. It just depends on what your time zone is. Not time zone like it's Central Standard or whatever, but it's how high you are. Like we're very low in the Southwest, and so our summers are really, really hot. Our winters are not really cold, and so we have an early spring. Things are going to get ripe early because of the place that we live. Again, familiarize yourself with the trees and the shrubs in your area so you know what you're collecting. Now, after collecting the correct buds at the perfect time, just use 2 fingers to pinch them off. Allow at least 1 bud from each bud cluster to remain on the branch to safeguard the tree and guarantee its continued growth. Okay, so don't be greedy and take them all right? Be responsible, take what you need, but leave some on the tree so the tree continues to grow. In case of doubt for gemmotherapy, you can choose flowers or leaf bud material. Both carry embryonic material and the medicinal qualities of the entire plant. So you want to do the buds. That means if a leaf is just starting to be exposed, you can use that. You can use a flower, okay? But the buds have the highest amount of phytonutrients in there, so that's really what you want. So get your pencil ready because I'm going to give you a recipe, okay? So ensure quick processing of the gathered materials. If that's not possible, then you can freeze the buds and process them at a later point. However, in this case, fresh maceration is preferred and strongly recommended. So you want 1 gram of budding material for the preparation of a home remedy. So a gram is not very much. All right. So you want to, I think when we talked about, on one of the programs, we talked about sugar. A teaspoon is 4 grams of sugar. So a gram is not very much. All right. So you're going to have to do some Googling and find out what you're doing with what bud you're doing, how many buds make a gram. But you need 1 gram of the buds for the preparation. Depending on the size of the buds, this can be as little as 1 bud or even half of it, or many tiny little ones. Now, I would imagine, because of a blackcurrant, how tiny it is, I would imagine its bud is very, very tiny. And so, I didn't even know what a blackcurrant was when I lived here in the United States. When I lived in England and Scotland, they had blackcurrants all over the place. And so I think they grow there. And they're very tiny. And I would imagine that their bud is very, very tiny as well. So you would have to have more than 1 of those, okay? Use the entire bud or cut or crumble the bud into smaller pieces. Add 10 milliliters of glycerin, all right, and 10 milliliters of alcohol, 70%, to an amber glass bottle. Now, I'm not so sure you need an amber glass bottle. You don't want a clear glass bottle, but if you have this cobalt blue bottle, that would be okay as well. What you want to do is protect it from sunlight. You don't want to have clear. All right, you don't want clear. So you want amber, and here's an amber bottle here. Oh, no, that's a blue one. I'm sorry. Amber, okay, amber bottle. So you want to do it in that. Now, if I was going to do that, and I'm not, but I have people that I know that do this, so I'm going to instruct you to use vodka to do this, all right? You don't want to use rubbing alcohol for sure because you're going to be ingesting this. So it needs to be an alcohol that you can ingest, all right? So I'm going to say use vodka. Now, you're not using very much, and it's not going to be, you're not going to get intoxicated at all. People that make these preparations, because people do ask about the alcohol content, the alcohol content is about as much as is in a ripe banana. So when you eat a ripe banana, do you think you're having alcohol? No, you don't. You think you're having a nasty ripe banana, right? So when you're doing these macerations, you're going to be using alcohol and glycerin. So again, you're going to be doing 10 mils of glycerin, 10 mils of alcohol, and 1 gram of the budding material. So that makes it 1 part bud to 20 parts liquid. So you're going to put that mixture in a warm area without being in direct sunlight, and you're going to shake it once a day, every day for 3 weeks. All right. After the 3-week period, you're going to dilute that at a 1-to-10 ratio in 16% water, 34% alcohol, 50% glycerin to create the finished gemmotherapy remedy, and you're going to mix it with a plastic spoon, not a metal spoon, because it'll disrupt what you're trying to do. So this is very, very diluted. It's a 1-to-10 ratio. So you're going to have your, what did we say here? We've got our water, our alcohol, and our glycerin, lots of that. You're going to put, we're going to just be easy, right? 10 drops of that, 1 drops of your budding material. So it's very, very dilute. And then you're going to put that in a spray bottle. You're going to shake it. And then you're going to label it so you don't forget what you had in each bottle. And you're going to do the dosage of 2 to 3 sprays for a person, a grown-up person. All right. And then you're going to do like maybe 1 to 2 sprays for a child. So it says, take your gemmotherapy maceration 2 to 3 times per day for adult, 2 to 3 sprays. Children 7 and up, 1 to 2 sprays. You can spray it directly in your mouth or mix it in a small amount of water. So this is really exciting. I'm not going to do this because I don't have time to do that, but I know people who do this, and I'm so thankful for you because you take the raw materials that God gave us and you make it into a maceration that people can use, and it's not near as expensive as what you get in the grocery store and that kind of thing. And you can be sure that if it is handmade with love, then it's going to have all that extra energy in there. So it's going to do you just a whole lot of good. So that's a lot of information, but I'm excited about it because, like I said, I know people that need neurodegenerative protection. I know people that have bronchitis. I know people that have gout. I know people that have all these kind of things. And so if we can give them something that's made with love, something that's natural, something that's in the embryonic state, then we know that we're giving them the absolute best thing, and it's been proven that it works. Anything that is $1 million industry, right? $1 million, that's a lot of money. Then we know that it is working. And they only just started researching this in 2017. So who knows what they're going to come up with, but it is anti-cancer, antiviral, anti-microbial, all the things that we need to do with all the nastiness in our world. So that's a lot of stuff. If you didn't get the recipe, I will try and get it in the comments. And if you have any questions, let me know. Like, share, comment, do all the things, because that lets Facebook know that we're doing something of value here at Abundant Health and Wellness. And it is the weekend. And the watchword for the weekend is always rest, recover, and replenish. And I will talk to you again next week. Thank you for joining me.